What if the reason why you didn't actually really know who you were was actually not tied to what you actually want? What if instead it was tied to what you actually need on a fundamental level? This one storytelling concept changed the way that I've looked at my life, and I'm going to show you how it can impact yours as well. So let's start with a little test. Have any of you ever taken a personality test and the results confounded you and you thought you were just three raccoons in a trench coat? That's been my experience. Basically, growing up adopted, people pleasing became my Olympic sport. Need a volunteer? I'm in. Need someone responsible? Absolutely. Need someone to be a financial manager even though you secretly want to write movies or novels? Apparently, absolutely I am. One day I looked at my life and realized something a little unsettling. I was making decisions based on what I want. I was accepting auditions for what I wasn't ready for. To become really good at playing a role that everyone else expected without asking what I actually needed. That is when I discovered one of my favorite ideas in storytelling, that every great character has a want, but more fundamentally, they need a need. The want is an external goal, whether it be get the girl, save the city, find love, get that promotion. The need is deeper. It's the internal truth the character has to wrestle with and discover before they can have the most impact in their lives. Most positive character arcs start with a lie, something the character believes is about themselves or the world that simply isn't true. A story exists to challenge that lie. And then I realized that maybe I had one too. For years, I believed my value came from being useful to people, dependable and responsible. Whatever other people's needs were, mine were second. On paper, that worked. I became a financial manager. I built a stable career. People respected me. But beneath all of that, there was someone who wanted to create, to tell stories, to make films, to make this YouTube channel, still play like a child through acting. This need wasn't, and then that's actually how I found my need. This need wasn't to be liked by everybody. That's what I wanted. The proof to it wasn't that my job was the problem. It's a role that you convinced yourself that you had to play, since that you it is a role that you convince yourself that you have to continue to play because that's what you do. So you probably spent years trying to prove yourself to people that couldn't care less about you. Not by expressing yourself, but by performing a different version of yourself that you think people will like you more. Looking back, I don't think I lost myself overnight. I think I slowly outsourced my identity. Here's where the story gets messy. You probably still compare yourself constantly. We all do. Are we talented enough? Are we athletic enough? Confident enough? Did we start on this journey of YouTube or filmmaking or screenwriting or TV? Any endeavor that we do, really, are we too young? Have we passed our prime? Are we too young to even get started? But the only person that you can compare yourself to is yourself and what you actually need, the fundamental need at a fundamental level for your life. If you're actually afraid to step away from the life that you currently built, the safe role that you have, just do it in small steps. Everything in small steps. Is there something that keeps pulling you towards storytelling, acting, filmmaking, creative design, really anything that crosses your mind? Go towards it. Maybe the real conflict isn't just that you're cast in the wrong role. Maybe the conflict is expectation versus authenticity. If I had to summarize my human character arc right now, it would be this. I spent years believing that my worth was people pleasing and that you probably think fulfilling roles to help people like you more is what you truly want. However, I'm here to tell you that I'm learning that my worth exists before any role I play. That what I really need is just a person in my corner, and that person starts with yourself. That's why this channel matters so much to me. Not because I want views or fame, because every video is another decision to speak my own voice, whether it's to 10 people or 10 million. And I want you to be able to look at and take away that this is your method, your character method, and say that came from me. So maybe your story started with a want and you spent years trying to be whatever, or you spent years trying to be what everybody else wanted or needed. The real lesson is that you never really needed another person, another title, another person's approval. Maybe the character method isn't to sort out what you want, but to give yourself permission to become what you truly need, one step at a time. Because the moment you stop living for applause is actually the moment that you finally hear your own voice. So I'm curious, what creative project are you working on or too scared to start? And what do you think you actually need in your life, or what you think that it might just be a want? I'm genuinely excited to read your answers. And until next time, you justers know what to do. If you want more content like this, please like, comment, and subscribe to help this channel continue to grow, and always be silly out there.